The Late Night Legends podcast is meant for a mature audience. Topics covered may be violent or sexual in nature and are not suitable for sensitive listeners. Please be aware of your surroundings. For specific trigger warnings, please see the episode's show notes. Testimony shared by guests of this show are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Late Night Legends hosts or staff. This podcast and any linked materials should not be considered medical or professional advice, nor is the information a substitute for the expertise or treatment from a professional. Listener discretion is advised.
Watch out.
Deep in the woods, among the misty pines, stalking on barefoot, a fire burning in my veins. I was a teenaged werewolf.
Late Night Legends internet podcast and radio show, the finest content on the interwebby stratosphere. My name is Francis Barrientos, United States of America. I'm here with my co-hosts, Charlie, Kay, and for me over here, Colin. And Colin is going to take us in tonight with the long-awaited topic that we had scheduled and we had to push it. Old Stinker.
Old Stinker.
Is he your favorite stinker? Find out tonight. Watch till the end. All right, Colin. Sorry for the enthusiasm and excitement. I had a lot of sugar.
I appreciate it. Keep the sugar coming, man. From medieval Europe to modern Hollywood, tales of hairy howling shapeshifters have been keeping villagers, livestock, and particularly nervous campers awake at night for centuries. But now we're not talking about your sexy, shirtless, emotionally tortured Twilight type of werewolves. No, we're talking about Yorkshire, the home of tea, moors, and a legendary lycanthrope with a serious halitosis problem. Ladies and gentlemen, and the cryptid curious listeners out there, allow me to introduce Old Stinker. It's not the Beast of Yorkshire. It's not the Wold Howler. It's not even Fluffy, just Old Stinker. It's a werewolf crossed with your uncle that doesn't buy deodorant and insists that onions are breakfast food. Very Shrek.
How do you know my uncle?
I think it's
Uncle
everybody's
Joe.
uncle.
You're getting called out.
I've got an Uncle Mike that does that.
Oh, maybe
Yeah.
it's the same uncle.
Yeah, maybe we're related.
Ooh.
So going back to the beginning, the earliest reports of this creature date back to the 1700s, when locals in East Yorkshire started whispering about a towering red-eyed beast roaming the countryside with a stench so bad it could allegedly knock out a cow. And not just any cow, a British cow. And those things are built tough, like Ford tough.
They're tenacious, those
They are, yeah, they
British
are.
cows.
They survived getting bombed, I guess.
One
so, yeah.
hell of a bovine. You know what I'm saying?
So what exactly is Old Stinker, and why does he smell like expired garlic and bad decisions? And most importantly, is there only one? Or is there a pack of Ponji werewolves haunting northern England? Anywhere else you can go, you can say, it was just a wild animal. However, in England, they didn't just dislike wolves. They hunted them to extinction before Shakespeare even started writing plays. Historically, wolves were such a massive nuisance that they weren't just hated, they were hunted, and people were given bonuses for their pelts. Medieval England had bounties in the same sort of style that you'd see in like an RPG side quest. Just, hey, however many you bring, it's however much gold you get. Whole families depended on keeping wolves out of their sheep, their homes, ideally their faces, children's beds, that sort of thing. Not a good place to have a wolf. So when someone in Yorkshire spotted an 8-foot-tall, snarling, hairy, wolf-like creature with glowing eyes, fearsome fangs, and long claws in the middle of a foggy moor, it was either Nigel, who fell into a hedge after 4 pints and forgot how to stand properly, or it was something a lot stranger. The legend of Old Stinker has roots going back to the powdered wigs and leeches as medicine time. He's said to originate from East Riding in Yorkshire, particularly around the Wold-Newton Triangle, which there's a triangle of Wold and Newton. There it is.
I love you, Colin.
Thank you. Old Stinker was said to roam Howell Moor, and that's its actual name, werewolf on Howell Moor. It's a stretch of eerie moorland that honestly just looks like a werewolf would be lurking in it. It's misty, it's windy, and it's got plenty of sheep. Sometimes he would attack livestock, other times he would terrify travelers, and sometimes he would just stand there looking unsettling, like a goth kid at the beach. Old Stinker's first written mentions appear in the 18th century. He was described as a great hairy man-beast with a fondness for livestock and a truly diabolical odor. He was so famously foul-smelling that the most prominent detail about him from history is his smell. Some people don't even agree on his appearance or how often or where he appeared, but they all agree on his smell. According to local lore, he haunted the area near a village called Flixton, which, fun fact, Flixton once had an actual wolf-proof inn. Flixton Old Hall was allegedly built in the 1400s specifically as a safe house to protect travelers from wolf attacks. So between the real wolves and the werewolf rumors, Yorkshire had a full-on stay indoors or get devoured kind of a reputation. Over the centuries, however, he faded away into legend. But there's a new Old Stinker. He made a comeback in 2016. That's right, the same year we lost Harambe. So it was
R.I.P. Harambe.
Yeah,
He took a shot for you. You take a shot for him.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
there you
saying?
go. Yeah. There's something I want to say, but I'm not allowed to say that on YouTube.
Can't say that.
Yeah, I know what you're
cannot say
saying.
that.
You can't say that.
I really want to say it.
You want to say DFOH. I know what you're
Oh
trying to
yeah,
say.
that's exactly what I want to say. How about DFOOS? Or yeah, yeah. There you go for Old Stinker.
WTF?
Yep. So with centuries of wolf-related trauma baked right into their culture, and then one pops up in Hull after 500 years, that's not just fear, that's generational panic. Almost a dozen people claimed they saw a werewolf-like creature skulking around in the area. At first, the sensible explanation was, hey, it's just a dog, maybe it's rabid, maybe it's feral. But because, of course, nothing says normal stray like glowing eyes and an impressive vertical jump. But as more sightings trickled in, the legend of Old Stinker clawed its way out of the folklore books and back into real-life headlines. Suddenly, East Yorkshire had its very own stinky cryptid comeback tour. One witness told a newspaper, it was stood upright one moment. The next was down on all fours, running like a dog. I was terrified. It bounded along on all fours, then stopped and reared up on its back legs before running down the embankment towards the water. It vaulted 30 feet over to the other side and vanished up the embankment over a wall into some allotments. It's 30 feet. That's a hell of a jump.
You know what I'm wondering right now, just with that, when you really think about it, think about this for just a second, guys. So when you think about an animal that runs on all fours, the back legs are the joint for the back legs. Like the knee goes a certain way, but like when we're standing up on two legs, our knees bend totally opposite. So is that to say that like the knee, when they go down on all fours, just decides to turn completely around, or does it just bend the opposite way completely to be able to run? Actually,
dogs and wolves, their legs, they actually run on their toes. That thing that looks like their knee is actually their ankle.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, something's got to change.
Just have some really long feet. You'll be all right.
Yeah, I think elephants are the only animals with four knees. That might be a false fact.
I'm not sure. I've heard that
knees,
too, but
cows have four stomachs. How many toes do you have?
11.
20.
I'm not even surprised if that's real. I'm not even surprised anymore, Colin.
It is not real. I have the proper number of toes.
All right.
Most people in my family don't.
What? I borrowed this one from a friend.
So in another sighting, a truck driver was doing his thing, minding his own business, driving down the road, just trying to make it home and avoid any nonsense along the way. He was driving near Barmston Drain, which already sounds like a cursed place, let's be honest. He spots two glowing lights just off the side of the road. And because he's a decent human being, the trucker assumes that it's a car with its taillights on. So he slows down to help. But as he gets closer, he realizes those aren't taillights. They're glowing red eyes, unblinking nightmare fuel eyes. Before he can say, this was a mistake, something lurches into his headlights. A creature covered in shaggy fur, roughly 8 feet tall, and very much not road legal. In a moment out of a horror movie, the beast slams itself into the front of the truck, trying to smash through the windshield like it's auditioning for Fast and the Furious. I had to work that in there somewhere. That did, is the only part with the vehicle. The trucker, probably screaming a string of inventive Yorkshire profanity, got away, but not before getting a very close look. What he said was that it was wolf-like. I guess that's polite British speak for it looked like a hellhound and smelled like hot garbage left in the sun. But
I would like to know the exact profanities used.
I would too.
I'm a connoisseur of the...
You like your British swears.
The Cockney swears and profanity. We're going to need you to cite your sources. I want verbatim quotes, Colin.
I will see what I can find.
Okay, if we're being factual, if he's from Yorkshire,
he's not Cockney.
Trucker's in Yorkshire, he's not Cockney.
Yeah, he's not Cockney. They're harder to understand. They're much harder to understand than Cockneys are.
What's Cockney technically? That's like was it East London?
East London, yeah.
East London?
Yeah.
The East End.
The Yorkshire's way at the north. So word spread fast because it was a hole and there isn't a whole hell of a lot going on. And soon after, other sightings started to roll in. Locals started describing a tall, upright, foul-smelling creature with glowing red eyes. And this time around, he had a disturbingly human face, like a werewolf version of the cat from What We Do in Shadows, if anybody knows that.
Did he not have a human face before?
It didn't really say one way or the other. I think the human face is significantly creepier.
I want someone to describe me with a disturbingly human face.
Well, human.
Put that on my
epitaph,
human. Please.
Uncanny Valley Frank. He's got a disturbingly human face.
Get him in the Polar Express right now.
Oh yeah. It was Polar Express size.
I saw the meme of the one kid like pointing back. Did you ever see that meme? That's wild. That's some wild shit. Those eyes all of the eyes in that movie are dead. You want to talk about conspiracy? We'll get to that a different day. Polar Express.
Well, have you seen the Chip and Dale movie, the recent one?
Yes.
Yeah.
I personally boycotted that movie for 2 reasons. Number one, I grew up with Chip and Dale, so you don't fuck with Chip and Dale. And they kept using a really inappropriate hip hop song, and it's like a song that one of the lyrics is best friend, and it's really dirty and sexual, but they just kept cutting it in a way where the song just kept repeating the words best friend for Chip and Dale. And I hated that they used such an adult song for a kid's movie that I actually boycotted the movie.
Oh, it's a great movie.
I'm passionate about
it is a great one.
It's straight
I just
from my
recently
childhood.
rewatched it because I forgot about it.
How is it? Is it good? You should actually watch it.
It's really good. It's not a Chip and Dale movie. It's not really. Do
they have the rest of the Rescue Rangers? Because if they do, I might have
to
check
yes.
it out.
In worse ways than you can imagine.
No.
I thought it was really funny. It was a Roger Rabbit-esque, and Roger Rabbit's in it, which is fantastic.
Yeah, it's a spin-off of Roger Rabbit.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
But
it's a Lonely Island movie, and Disney just gave Lonely Island the reins. Just like, here.
Yeah.
All my flabbers are currently gasted, gentlemen and lady.
And lady.
I will need to check that movie out.
You do.
I shall sail the high seas later.
Franklin's like, boycott over.
A strong endorsement from my friends will end a personal irrational boycott.
Like, I'm sure next week you're gonna get on and tell us you hated it, but I
don't know. No. I didn't like that they used an adult song for a kids movie. I was really I was just angry. Plus, what am I going to go to the theater? Well, I don't have like a kid that I would go to the theater with. You know what I mean? Like,
I think
you would not want to bring a kid to that movie.
You are allowed to go by yourself.
Well,
Frank.
I kind of have a wife. I mean, I could go with that. They could go with
kind of have one.
I don't have to go alone, I guess.
That's the nice thing about having girlfriends. Like, oh, we can go see kids movies, and I won't feel as weird.
What's the percentage of weird that you do feel though? Are we talking like
you mean
high 90%, but you drop down to like maybe like a mid 30% weird feeling?
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot less weird. I'd say it's about right.
Maybe
Okay.
I just have a different experience because I'm a woman, but I've never felt weird going to a kids movie.
I actually like kids movies, but I don't go to the theaters to watch them. I'll download them, and I watched Minions the other day. Whatever, I don't care. I like the Minions number 1, 2, 3, and I watched the all that stuff. I watch a lot of kids movies actually. Sorry,
but anyway, the point about Chip and Dale was the one
Polar
of the
Express
characters
size. Yeah,
has the
Yes.
Polar Express size, and you
Who?
can never tell where he's looking.
yeah. I'm
Oh.
looking
I'm
right,
looking
at you. Yeah. But he's not looking at anybody.
wait a second. Chip and Dale, is that the movie where they had Ugly Sonic in the movie?
Yep, that's the
Yes.
one.
Oh, okay, done deal. It's done. I'm gonna.
Told
see
you
what
I have
can
a
do.
show. So good.
I will check it out. Sorry, Colin.
Oh,
for
no worries, no
derailing-
worries.
Go for it,
No, you
Colin.
need to check that
derailing
movie out.
everything.
You're all good. So once a local historian heard these reports, he thought to himself, hang on, this sounds familiar. And he dusted off an old tome from years beforehand. And that's when the name Old Stinker re-entered the conversation. The werewolf of Hull, once described as a towering, foul-breathed monster that stalked the moors and probably made medieval horses faint from the stench. But now he's back and badder than ever. Now reportedly, he eats pets, transforms under moonlight, and according to one witness, did a full cinematic werewolf transformation, complete with fog, mood lighting, and presumably a pretty cool soundtrack. Shortly after the truck incident, multiple locals reported seeing the creature near a cemetery because, of course, it's a cemetery. I mean, where else would it show up? You know, they never spot him at like a mall or at a fun run or anything like that. It's
Fun run.
hanging out in the cemetery.
What run is actually fun?
But it's always somewhere with maximum spooky energy. Eyewitnesses described the creature as watching people from behind the gravestones, because nothing says healthy nighttime stroll like being silently observed by a giant hairy beast doing his impression of a Victorian child. One woman reported seeing a large human-like creature leap over a 10-foot wall into a patch of allotments, presumably to ruin somebody's garden. She described it as wolf-like, but with the face of a man, or maybe even a very hairy woman. So, well, equal opportunity cryptid, I guess.
I imagine when you describe the beast jumping over the wall and into a garden, I just imagine that scene from Ghostbusters 1 where the terror hound or the terror dog jumps over to chase after Louis Tully. He's like running through the gardens and stuff, just complete havoc.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was probably about not too far off base.
I would like to clarify something real quick, and maybe I missed it, but he's like a weird werewolfy creature, but he also transforms into a werewolf?
So there's different reports coming in. Some people said he did transform. Some people said it was just the way he looked. Some people said he just had the human-like face. So, I guess it's whatever you felt like telling the newspaper that week, I guess.
Gotcha.
So apparently he moves with supernatural speed and vanished into the mist, which is a thing that that only werewolves and Severus Snape can do convincingly. Residents started linking the absence of pets and missing pets, particularly cats and small dogs, to the sightings. Now, it's not confirmed one way or the other, but it seems that Old Stinker is a gourmet for the Yorkie diet. But let's just say that a lot of people started keeping their animals indoors, and some even claim to hear howling late at night. Although skeptics insist that it could just be a really bored fox. I mean, we didn't know what it said at that point, I don't think.
Foxes don't howl.
I was just
What kind of sound does a fox make? What is that? How's that song
I was
go?
just referencing that song, yeah.
Foxes make a lot of different vocalizations. They make like over 1,000 different vocalizations. I think they make all kinds of weird sounds.
They have like a
That's like-
disturbingly human laugh too.
Yeah.
That's like on the level of that one guy from Police Academy. Makes all those sounds. What?
Michael Winslow.
Oh
Yeah, that's
Michael.
Well, that's.
Winslow.
I'm trying to think of the actor's name. Is that the act? That's not the actor's name.
That's
is
the
it?
actor.
Yes, the actor's name.
What is his name in the
He was
movie?
also in Spaceballs. The beeps, the sweeps, and the creeps.
It is Michael Winslow. Why did I think that's from Family? Oh, that's Carl Winslow. That's
Don't
why.
No,
ever
yeah.
doubt Charlie, Frank. Charlie knows everything.
Oh,
Don't know everything.
Officer Jones. That's who he plays. Okay.
Officer Jones. So after the flood of sightings in Hull, paranormal investigation team actually camped out trying to catch Old Stinker in action. The mission was to stake out Barmston Drain, the stinky epicenter of the sightings, and wait for the beast to appear. To film it, document it, and possibly ask it about its poor oral hygiene. And they brought night vision cameras, audio recorders, and EMF meters for some reason, despite it being a werewolf, not a ghost. The whole ghost hunting starter kit, basically. The results were unclear. One said they experienced the sensation of being watched, which is, just like, I guess, using a public toilet or, trying to take a whiz in the woods. So that's just to be expected. One said they saw unexplained movement in the trees. And somebody did say we saw eyes reflecting light in the darkness and that there was a strong feeling of malevolence, which again might have been a werewolf or just the realization that they were standing in the middle of a moor in the middle of the night for a cryptid no one's ever photographed despite the invention of smartphones, and they were just really, really bored. At one point, the team suggested that Old Stinker might not be just a werewolf, but really something darker, possibly a demonic entity. Because of the smell, he smelled not only severely bad, but he smelled of sulfur. So he's not only terrifying and mysterious, but possibly, satanic.
Checks out.
Classic demon vibes.
Mhm.
So, the 16th century peasants were saying, clearly this is the work of Satan, and so were the investigators. So did the investigation prove anything? No, it did not. But it does remind us that Britain has some world-class weirdos. And if something terrifying is out there, at least someone is willing to chase it down with a flashlight, a microphone, and a half-charged camera. In the end, the investigation was inconclusive, but the legend is very much alive. Old Stinker may be ancient, but he's learned one thing since the 15th century. If you're going to terrorize a town, you better do it with some flair.
Put down in the comments if you would chase Old Stinker, and then also put in the comments if you know anybody who's British and how you think they would react. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry.
Speaking
sorry.
of the
everyone.
Speaking of the comments.
I'm going to call this part things I fix in post, because I have two options. Either I can fix what happened in post, or I could just display it full screen so y'all can just see what I see. And for Charlie and Colin, just go to the Legends chat if you want to see why I lost my train of thought mid-sentence.
Oh.
Hey,
Yep,
I think I found... I know, I'll cut this out. But earlier we were talking about what YouTube picture I'm going to use for my for my channel. I think I found a winner, guys.
Speaking of, in the comments, Stormfrog says, "Old Stinker."
Oh, Storm Frog.
Stormfrog.
Storm Frog.
That's right. It's Old Stinker.
Storm Frog.
And also, that's what we're talking about.
Storm Frog, listen, buddy. You gotta let us know. Do you think Old Stinker is a werewolf, or do you think it's demonic? Do you think because it smells like sulfur that is an immediate sort of automatically makes it like a demon type of thing, or do you think maybe it's just like the smelly uncle? What are we thinking here? Same question to y'all. What do you think this actually might be?
Reasonably, I'd say it's closer to the smelly uncle. You know, I think the human-like faces, maybe they just forgot to put the mask on. You know, they were drinking a bit too much, had one too many pints at the pub.
So you think it's the smunkle?
Smunkle.
The drunkle smunkle.
I really like this topic, Colin. I gotta tell you.
Thank you.
It's really nice. It's really good.
I should have thought more before I started. I'm so sorry. I feel really bad for the guy because obviously he's trying to do something. I mean, he's attacking cars, he's trying to scare people. He's doing as much as he can possibly do. And he's going to go down in history just for his stench. Like, they don't even know his name. They didn't bother to give him his name. They're like, dude, you just stink.
Yeah.
And that's what we're going to call
They've
you.
been roasting him for centuries.
And he's like, I
Aw.
work day and night to scare you people, to do this. And all you care about is my smell.
It's the long roast.
Yeah.
You know how they say, like, oh, he's playing the long game?
Yeah, he's
This
playing
guy's-
the long roast.
They're doing the long roast.
Why?
By
do
the
they
way,
think-
I think, to be honest with you, I think Old Stinker might be loose in Chicago because that's without the sulfur smell, all of the bad smells you could possibly imagine are on the street today. Today.
Oh,
You go out there, it's really gross and musty.
yeah. The
put on
sewers
your
by
deodorant.
me. The sewers by me stink really, really bad on days like today. Like, they don't drain properly, and the sewage just sits there. So, like, the whole
Little known
downtown
fact.
area by me is just
I don't know if
awful.
Charlie and Kay, I don't know if you know this, but Chicago is kind of built on a swamp. And when I say kind of, I mean it's absolutely
100%.
built over on a
Seems
swamp.
like a lot of cities are just built on a swamp.
Somebody was like, you see this swamp? You know what would be really great right here?
3
A
million people.
giant city.
Giant city. All right.
Stormfrog says Britain is the old world. Picts, druids, all peoples with ancient beliefs. I think with that smell, it is certainly of the earth, but perhaps not demonic. It could be, in my own assumptions, a spirit that has grown angered, restless, abandoned by mankind who might have revered it, so it lashes out.
We also got Phil McSpooky in the chat saying, "Old Stinker is what I call my dad." That's also what I call your dad. I'm just kidding. Just kidding, Mr. McSpooky.
Mr. McSpooky.
It's kind of interesting that it's specifically centered in Yorkshire area.
Mhm.
Because Hound of the Baskervilles also set in the Yorkshire area, and another somewhat mythical dog-like
Mhm.
figure. So maybe Conan Doyle, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he ripped it off.
he based it on that.
Yeah.
It's just his
I will
dog.
research. It's just a dog.
It's just Old Stinker's dog.
Old Stinker has a dog.
And that's it. Everybody have a good night. Sorry. I don't know, guys. I think this is a fun one. I feel like this is one where it feels very similar to a lot of things that are going on, but I like it just because it has a strong association with smell. Obviously, there's like cryptids and monsters everywhere. I have to figure out how I did it, but I did this thing on my phone. This is a true story. If I go to the map on my phone, it actually puts on my map all of the cryptid sightings for any part of the map that I
Yeah, I
check.
got that too. It's pretty awesome.
I periodically forget about it, and then I'm looking at the map and I'm just trying to find a street, and there's all these icons. I'm like, what the fuck are these icons everywhere? And it's like cryptid sightings. And like the most common cryptid sightings around here in my current area, they seem like they're like Mothman type.
Yeah, I got.
creatures.
There's a Mothman sighting on the hospital over here not that long ago.
I got a text from Phil McSpooky. It says, I call my butt the swamp because it's very humid. Yes.
Okay,
Thank
then.
you, Phil.
Okay, upon research, it seems like Arthur Conan Doyle was not inspired by Old Stinker, but by the Yeth Hound and some other ghost dogs, things like that. So, theory busted.
Yeah.
I wanted to see an image of Old Stinker, so I just went ahead and Googled that. And I guess if you go to houseofcheese.co.uk, there's a cheese called Old Stinker, and it says a strong smelling cheese from northern France where it is an offense to take it on public transport. So maybe that's why Old Stinker attacked a car. He was really just looking to hitchhike.
Yeah, he just needed a
'Cause
ride.
He can't get on public transport.
That's how you know he's not from Chicago either, because they'll let any fucking creature on
Yeah,
public
right.
transportation.
Yeah, I was riding the train the other night. I was riding home with my wife and my brother, and this guy just making eye contact with everybody on the train.
Ooh.
And as he gets off, he stops at the end of the car, turns around, and he goes, "I heard what you said," as loud as he can. So everyone in the train looked at him, and then he just walked off.
I'm starting to like this guy.
Yeah.
Where did he get off? Was it like the displaying stop?
No, he got off at Jefferson Park.
Oh, that's way in the city.
Yeah.
Were you taking the metro home?
Yeah, I was coming from Wrigleyville.
Should have said hi, man.
Yeah.
You can't say hi. You can't call Laura and I and say hello.
I was gonna actually. I was thinking about it, but we were running really late. We were going to a concert, and my wife couldn't get off work early, so we had like no time.
Also
We
in the
missed
car. I
the
could
first
have
act.
drove you.
Yeah. Well. Next time, man. Next time.
I just got another comment from Phil McSpooky. This one I cannot read on air. It may or may not have to do with one of my co-hosts. Oh no. Phil, stop texting me.
Phil?
Oh no. Oh no. No. This is bad. This is bad, guys.
He's going to be in trouble.
I'm pleading the fifth here. I'm just gonna show myself out. Go ahead and put down in the comments what you think of Old Stinker. Let us know what other cryptids you'd like us to talk about. If there is a cryptid that you'd like us to talk about that we haven't before. We haven't formally covered so many. Very few. I know we did Bigfoot. I'm not sure if we actually did Mothman or not. I think we did. But if we did, I think it'd be a good time for a follow-up. Oh my God. I can totally tell you're texting Phil McSpooky.
I am.
I know that fucking look. I know that look. I've seen that look before. I'm scared. Yes. Anyway, if you'd like us to do a show on your local cryptid, if you've got one, depending on where you are, I know that we have a very broad audience of listeners and viewers. And when I say that, I mean I know that 90% of y'all are in Texas. So if you've got something in Texas that you'd like us to cover, or if you're in a different area, let us know. There's a whole wide world of cryptids that we haven't yet talked about.
Oh yeah, so many.
Yeah, there are so many.
We have another person messaging in the chat who is absolutely not Phil, saying, I don't know who this Phil guy is, but I'd hate to be him right now.
Yep.
Now I'm getting yelled at for being a snitch when I actually didn't say a damn word. I didn't say anything.
Yeah, but you reacted.
I know. This is
I know what this is about.
I don't know.
Too.
No,
I
you
know
don't.
what this
No, you
is
don't.
about.
You do
I
not.
do.
No one knows what this is about.
I do.
No, you don't. You think you do.
And I almost was like, oh, go ahead and read it, Frank.
I'm going to take this message to the grave, okay?
Thank you.
If you'd like to theorize what the message is and you put it down in the comments, the person who actually gets it right, if somebody does get it right, will win one of these Late Night Legend beanie hats for guessing the correct comment. If you are Phil McSpooky, you are not eligible because it is your text message. What else you got, Colin? You got anything else on Old Stinker? We've received the chat that says snitches get stitches.
It also says guilty
I did not
conscience
spill
day.
any beans. I did not read the comment. I did not say anything about the message that Phil McSpooky sent me. I did not divulge the details.
We will be holding a service for Phil McSpooky during the next Super Balls episode.
All right. I would really like to get actually this would be a good time to talk about this. I would really like, so right now it's a very special time of year. And when I say that, what I mean is right now as a team and as individuals, we're going to be planning. I'm sorry, I'm still reading these comments here that are going out of the chat. As a team and then as individuals, we're going to be planning our Halloween, spooky season, October, November shows. So if there's any topics that you'd really like for us to cover, please feel free to let us know. It doesn't have to be cryptid related. It could be anything. I know that throughout the year, we've actually covered a lot. We've done everything from nautical stuff to reality type stuff. I know you guys all like that type of content. We've covered things that are not real, like liminal land and Moab and stuff. So, or Loab. What do I call it? Moab? That's the mother of all bombs. I'm sorry, Loab. We've covered all these kind of things. What do you guys think? Charlie, Colin, I know that you're going to be joining us this spooky season where Kay probably will not. What do you guys think that you might cover? What do you have cooking? What do you have cooking that you might be ready for that time of year?
I don't know yet. I haven't thought that far. I haven't thought that far ahead. I haven't even thought to July yet. So
Yeah, I don't have my August topic, so any ideas in the chat will be welcome.
I'd say also if you go back and you look at some of the topics that we did in spooky and holiday season last year that you really liked. We did like an Alice in Wonderland dress up theme. We did, stuff that didn't necessarily have to do with spooky. We did some holiday shows. So if you like some non-spooky content, let us know that as well. Frank, you're laughing again. My biggest thing that I like to do that I think we kind of started the last couple of years is this team costume. I really liked the Alice in Wonderland costumes. I thought that was beautiful. If you're a fan of big green caterpillars and people who dress like them, that is the show for you. If you like me dressing up as animals I generally don't like, that's also the show for you. I dressed up as a neon cat. It was amazing. It was a blue caterpillar.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was it green or blue?
Blue.
Wasn't it? Oh.
In the movie, it's blue.
I'm just saying, but Shayna, it was kind of green though, was it not? Or was she blue and then?
I remember it being clearly blue. Yeah.
Might have to check your math on that, or check my math.
You are the second person today to not believe me. Do it. Check it.
Who else didn't believe you today?
Somebody else.
Please put down in the comments who didn't who you think didn't believe Kay.
Yeah, please put down in the comments what color you think the caterpillar was as well.
What color should a caterpillar be this year? What should the team dress up as for Halloween this year?
That is the question. So we've had ideas over the years. We've had people have said like Power Rangers, and then somebody said yes, but actually the Putty Patrol from the Power Rangers which I don't think is as cool. I don't think that's.
I think that the Putty Patrol is much better.
I don't. I think they're kind of.
I mean, you could
kind of gnarly looking.
Yeah,
Putty Patrol. I want to be Green Ranger. Are you kidding me?
Well, Green Ranger's definitely the best.
I'm the Green. First of all, Charlie, listen.
Okay, you can be Green Ranger.
I think. Listen, let me see here. Who would you be? Okay, I think a strong case could. No, Charlie. I think I think if you practice, you could be Alpha 5.
With time. With time.
With time.
Yeah.
With some coaching,
Fine.
I think Colin could make a good skull.
Oh, no, I'm more of an Ivan Ooze.
Phil McSpooky could be Bulk. And no, actually, if you want to get technical here, I think I'd have to be Red Ranger, right? Like just from the
But which one?
Are you asking me if I would be
Are you
Austin
original
St.
Red
John
Ranger?
or Steve Cardenas or Rocky or Jason, or is that what you're asking me?
Yeah. And like, what series are we going with here? Because what if I want to be Tommy from Dino Thunder?
I would say Mighty Morphin. So that's Power Rangers in space and prior. That's
Fine.
because there's a few generations there. Who would Kim be? Would Kimberly be Kimberly? That's
Yeah.
a question.
I mean, it's right there.
I don't know. It
Getting
kind of
some
seems like
real
low
Rita
hanging
Repulsa
fruit.
vibes.
for
Yeah.
me.
You could be Zordon. I don't care.
How would she be Zord?
Okay, first we're gonna ask you to shave your head. Step 1.
Okay.
Number 2, we got to put you
In a tube.
in a tube. 3, have you
Big
seen Blue
blue
Man
tube.
Group, and are you a fan of that look? Because we got to put your makeup that way.
What if all of us put bald caps on and dress up like Pitbull?
Mr. Worldwide?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you been hearing about this trend?
Yes.
And
Yeah, at his
it's so
concerts.
wholesome and so wonderful. All these people go into Pitbull concerts with the bald caps on.
Yeah. It's
and he's
pretty
like,
impressive.
everybody here with the bald cap, you're having the best day of your life right now. Let's go. Dale. It's so sweet.
It's funny because I know that word.
I think we should all be Pitbull. Or we should all be the same exact thing for Halloween, like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but we all dress up as the green one.
Charlie, how do you feel about Splinter?
How
Or
do I
Krang?
feel?
Dude, you could totally be Krang.
I'm not gonna be Krang.
Come on.
Why
All
can't
right.
I be a turtle? What is the, you always put me as these side characters?
Listen, man. I think you
I
could
can't
be
Donnie.
Yeah, I guess so. What about
mean, Splinter's fine.
what about that what's his name? The Ernie guy who was like trying to join the Foot Clan in the second movie?
Oh, yeah. Ernie Reyes.
You could be that guy. He technically was a turtle from the first movie. Was
Yeah,
in the
he
costume.
was the actor that played him.
Yeah.
Has any-
Okay. We're going off on a tangent here. We do Ninja Turtles. We were told to do Scooby Doo once. I don't know if we could do Scooby Doo. I don't think I think we have too many people for Scooby Doo.
Some of us could be bad guys.
You know, it would be really funny if Tim was like somebody that wore a mask that you could take off, or we just like, it was Tim the whole time.
I do kind of like the idea that Kay mentioned of all dressing up as a similar character, and then it's like a parallel universe version where all
It'd be
Ooh.
really cool if we like all dressed up as like Macho Man Randy Savage or something. We all try to sound like him for just one show.
oh yeah.
We had the idea.
Snap it over
Somebody said once that we should do Mario Kart drivers.
See, that I could get down with.
You get down with that. Somebody else suggested we would all be Disney princesses, and even the men, which would be
Love
funny.
that.
Yeah.
I don't know who I'd be, but I could see I could see some things.
So my wife and I have an idea for our Halloween costume anyway. It's
Go
Yeah.
on.
because I'm quite tall, I'm going to be Legolas. And
Ooh.
Is she gonna be Gimli?
she's quite
Please,
short.
Gimli.
She's going to be Gimli.
Oh,
Love
yes.
that's sweet.
Yes. Please send me a picture. We could do Lord of the Rings. We could be the Fellowship.
Yeah.
Good.
You
I'll
could
be
just
the ring.
You could you could double down and you could just keep the Legolas costume.
Oh, yeah. Get my money's worth out of that.
I would want to be the old gaffer if we did Lord of the Rings, which is a character that really isn't
In the movie, but
movies.
Yeah. You're more of a Grand anyway.
You know,
Grand.
I just want to be that one orc that just chants it really loudly. I don't know. How would we be the Fellowship? I don't know who would you be? Charlie, I think actually you would make a good Samwise Gamgee, who's actually, I would say, the real hero of that movie.
Sam's the real.
Arguably.
Yeah, either Sam or Boromir, because Sean Bean. But
Yeah.
People say that Boromir might be the greatest literary character of all time.
He's so good.
So good. Kay, do you know who Boromir is? Captain
No.
of Gondor.
I don't, but I'm deciding I think I want to be the Eye of Sauron.
You don't want to be Arwen? It's like right there. You're already halfway there.
I don't know. I just kind of want to like put 2 spikes on my shoulder and then paint my whole face as a giant eyeball.
Okay.
No.
I mean, that's fair.
Colin, I'm thinking I could be Gandalf, but you could also be Saruman.
Ah.
Dude.
Oh, we could pull that off. Yeah, that's easy.
Yeah, what if we're all just the wizards from Lord of the Rings?
There's only 5 wizards. I mean, we could make up whatever we want for the blue wizards.
Yeah, can I
I'll
be
turn
Tom
blonde.
Bombadil? Let's
Yeah. Tom
my
Bombadil. Yeah, you
God.
look just like Tom Bombadil. Yeah, you're perfect
We're
for that.
Stormfrog.
Yeah.
Can we have Stormfrog on and he could be Tom Bombadil? Holy shit. Oh my God. And then we could, if we have, Kay, you could be Moonberry. You could do it. What is
Oh.
what am I being sent right now? What is, I need to, listen, I think I'm going to make a new rule for myself that I'm unable to look at anything besides this podcast that we're doing. I'm
Yeah,
sorry
just a
that
message
I can
for our listeners. If you ever want Frank to live react to your message on the live on the
Please.
podcast,
you know, like,
just text him.
as a viewer of a podcast, you know, like you're trying to talk to your creator and sometimes they'll like ignore your message or there's too much going on and they don't see your message. I'm not that person. I read everything and I will personally react to everything. And by the way, that's not how you should do one of these shows. That's not good. It's not a good idea. We also got a comment here saying that we should dress up as Toy Story characters.
Ooh.
I call that doll that is the spider from Sid's room. That's who I want to be. What do you guys think? What would you be? Or Army Soldier guy would be cool. Or Rex. Damn.
Rex is cool. Potato
Rex
Head
is cool.
Slinky Dog.
Pretty easy.
Slinky Dog. Oh man.
Just looks great.
You could be one of those aliens from the vending machine too.
Oh yeah, that'd be good.
The claw.
I want to be the fishing pole with the legs, and I'll just stand on my
Oh,
chair
yeah.
the whole time.
That's so
hooker.
gross. It's so nasty. You guys ever read those theories about how like Sid grew up to be the garbage man in the later
Yeah.
movies?
Oh
No,
yeah.
At least like
Wearing
all
the
but
same shirt.
confirmed. Yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty
I mean-
pretty awesome. Listen,
Working for the city. Pretty good job.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say it.
Adjusted.
Andy's trying to struggle his way through college, but here, at least in Chicago, sanitation workers make really good money, have a really nice pension. You know, sometimes they don't have to lift all day long. Sometimes they're just driving the truck and making like more than $100K a year. It's not a bad gig. There's a union.
Perfect.
It's perfect. All right, guys. You guys want to do some final thoughts?
Sounds good to me.
Okay. Charlie and Kay, one of you guys should go first.
Well, yeah, old stinker. Sounds to me it's just someone saw a dog. Dog got into some trash, and it could be a big dog.
Yeah.
I don't doubt that there's some feral dogs out there on the moors and things like that. So yeah, it's interesting that it came back around so with such a long time in between. So that's kind of interesting to me.
I think this episode is a great reminder. I think everybody in the US right now is pretty hot. I think everywhere is pretty hot. Take a bath. Put your
Final thought.
deodorant
Put your
on.
deodorant on.
Yep.
We have a saying in Spanish. It's called bañate. And it's a common thing that you say to somebody as you're leaving their company, which is you tell that person to bathe. I'm not even joking.
Yeah. I get that washcloth. Get all up in your pits. Yep. And put some deodorant on. Everybody will thank you. You will not go down in history just being named as what you smell like. And I looked up a picture of Old Stinker, and he just looks like a werewolf to me.
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting.
Yeah, not a lot going on.
Oh,
What happened? Am I missing something?
well, Phil McSpooky just commented and said #mercywipe.
Yeah.
I like it. Hey, listen. Let me tell you something. Baby wipes are not just for babies, everybody.
They're not.
They're not. And they're actually really good to like keep in your briefcase or your backpack or whatever you're traveling with. It can be really good.
Don't
be
flush
really
them,
good.
though.
Be really
Do not
nice.
flush them.
Do not.
You can flush them if it's not your toilet.
Don't flush them.
Life advice. You go to a friend's house or you're at the library, game on. You know what I'm saying? Buy some of them dude wipes. You guys know about dude wipes? I just
Yeah,
found
my
out
brother's
about
Dude
obsessed
wipes
with
are
them.
good.
I don't know about no dude wipes, but Colin. Colin,
Did you say your dog?
No, my brother's obsessed with them.
Oh,
Was that a picture of your brother or your brother's dog? Is
Oh,
it
that
both?
one? No, I just there was a dog with a surprisingly human face. So there you go.
What am I? Everybody. Colin, you got to give a final thought. That picture is not your final thought.
Oh, I wish I could just put it up and that would be my final thought. So I had a lot of fun researching this, but you could tell a lot of people were just doing it for attention. Like, hey, that's in the news. Let me say I saw the werewolf guy. But no, it was a lot of fun researching it. I especially like the history of it, and I went back hundreds of years. I thought I really did when I started this. I thought it was just like a new thing. Like they just, hey, let's call that werewolf Old Stinker. But no, it goes way back.
I'd like to talk to you and just ask you, by what method do you cultivate your topics, Colin?
Oh, just whatever I stumble across that sounds kind of interesting. That's it. That's all there is.
My final thought. This was a great episode. I really like that this one was more casual. I think that it's very nice that we have as a team, we have a mix of like some really like serious and academic almost episodes where like we have a lot of information to give to you guys. And I really like that sometimes we kind of take a break and take a step back and we have something that's more casual and funny and more of an open discussion like this. I think it's a good blend. I think it's a wonderful time of year for everyone to just kind of take a step back and think about hygiene. And I think that if you've got any tips and tricks, put them down in the comments. And with that being said, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for telling a friend. Thank you for listening to this episode and realizing that Old Stinker is actually just your mom, but you still kiss her anyway. And we will catch y'all maybe next week, maybe not next week. I know that we had some loose plans to maybe take next week off for Independence Day. And we'll let you know over social media if we're going to be doing that. But either way, you will have a new episode to watch as a YouTube member if we do decide to take off. But until then, thank you so much. We'll see you next time. And you take care of yourself and stay cold out there. See y'all. Bye, everybody.
See you guys.
bye.
Bye.
Knots up in my hair, even with a snare. No one could ever touch me. Gnawing on my chains, something wild, something untamed. The beast surging in my veins. Cause I was a teenage werewolf, and I broke my own damn heart just by struggling to fit in with those who never cared for me in the first place to begin. But I've torn off my sheep mask, and now there is no holding me me back. The full moon will be rising, and I'm ready to attack. I'll howl and howl all night long until the sunrise drags the beast back down. My days with the sheep may be done, but at long last I'm finally having fun, because I was a teenage werewolf.